Assalamu alaikum. So we are going to talk about five levels of leadership in this session, and I will refer to two main books. One is Five Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell, and the other one is Good to Great by Jim Collins. So as soon as you get a position, you become a leader, and that's your level one leadership. People might like you, might not like you, they might hate you, but they still have to follow you because they are obliged to follow you because of your position. They are not actually following you, they are actually following the position in which you are. And if they don't follow you, they might face consequences because of your powers. So what happens when you are only operating at level 1? Whenever you leave that position because of a transfer, or because maybe getting promoted, or because maybe leaving that organization, they immediately stop even recognizing you. So there are a lot of examples around you. You might even think of people who had left your organization or who have retired, and they do not command any sort of respect once they have left. The second one is because of permission. So you have now actually started to build some relationships, and they like to follow you, but the following is just at a whim. So there you have some relationship with them. That's why they like and follow your commands, but it's not from very depth of the heart that they are following you. Then you lead to level 3, and that is because you have been doing something for the organization. They recognize you as an expert in your field, and they follow you because of your experience and your uh, working history. Then comes the level 4. So now they follow you because you have been doing something for them. So in a relationship where a boss is actually managing an employee, what happens is that the employee and boss, they have a mutual relationship, because sometimes the boss does something for the employee, and sometimes the employee does something for the boss, and that's how it leads to level 4 relationship, because both are helping each other in accomplishing each other's goals. And the last one is the respect related leadership. That is the level 5 of the leadership. What happens in level 5? They actually follow you because they look up to you as a symbol, as someone who is actually representing a cause. So it is a transcendent relationship where you have been doing something for the people, something for the organization, you are an expert, and you stand for something. If you remember, it goes back to the values of leadership. So, what do you actually represent? You as a person. For example, let me give you some examples. So for example, if we talk about Professor Adib Rizvi Saab, he actually represents a system where poor people are not dying because they cannot afford something. If you remember Abdul Sattar Edi Saab, if you remember Professor Abdul Bari Saab, so all of these people, they stand for something and they command respect because of the cause they are standing for, and that is the true essence of leadership. So that is the level 5 leadership. We all want to become level 5 leaders, and we should all try to become level 5 leaders by sticking to our values, by trying to give more and more to the society. Now the same 5 levels of leadership are operationally explained in another book, that is called Good to Great, that how it actually impacts an organization. So a level 5 leader, now you know who a level 5 leader is. What level 5 leader does is commands respect, and he builds a team. So the first thing a level 5 leader do is to gather people who are actually like-minded. He gets the right people on his team so that they can support him in thick and thin. Then what he does is that he is a realistic leader, a reformer who confronts the facts that are actually haunting different organizations. So these organizations, which are spread everywhere, if they do not have a level 5 leader, they generally do not thrive. If you read Good to Great, it's a very good book to read. It tells you that they have sifted through hundreds of organizations in the US, and they came across few characteristics, few attributes of leaders, and they actually say, Jim Collins actually writes that the major factor which differentiates between a high performing organization, which actually was mediocre organization and then it raised to a high level, was actually the difference of leadership. So what does a leader do? It specializes its organization in one particular area. He plays to the strengths of the organization, and he actually sees what the organization does best and pushes the organization to do whatever it does best and to play to its strengths. Then he built certain cultures. If you go to these organizations I just spoke about, and you'll see that there would be a particular type of culture prevailing in that organization. It doesn't have to be a written code of conduct, but everybody follows that culture. Why? Because it is that when we're studying medical education, we talk about a hidden curriculum. So it's a hidden culture. People actually stick to that culture and they know how things are run in that particular organization. And then the last thing is that these leaders, they always make use of technology to bring efficiency, to bring power, to bring advancements, and to achieve their goals. So that is the basic of level 5 leadership. There's one beautiful quote I would like to end with. When I was reading the Good to Great, somebody asked Jim Collins that I know that I'm not a level 5 leader. What should I do? And then he said that you should try and practice as much as you can. One day you will become a level 5 leader, because level 5 leaders are uh, somewhat selfless people who invest heavily in other people and who actually push other people to do more, do better, and become the best versions of themselves. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.